So let's move on to Gunstar Super Heroes for the Game Boy Advance.
I played this once. It's a really great game, but I can't understand why it didn't sell well.
Well, Nintendo Power tried to push the hell out of it, but just did not succeed, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and pop this bad boy in and see what it has to offer here. Presented by Sega
On Nintendo.
Created by Treasure.
Is this 1 or 2 player?
It's actually 1 player, which is probably the biggest downfall in this particular game, but it was for a handheld device.
Can you control the menu?
You cannot control the menu, unfortunately.
This is a huge step outwards. So what other controls anyway?
You can switch weapon with the trigger button, otherwise you just have jump and shoot. And then if you don't hold down the shoot button, it's a melee attack. See?
Are there weapon combinations?
No, there are no weapon combinations in this game. Which is kind of a big part of the previous game, but it still kind of maintains the style. You know, it always kind of disappoints me in a way when a strong console game receives a sequel on a handheld. Even if the sequel is like really solid, I somehow feel cheated. You know, like Mother 3, for example, being on the Game Boy Advance.
I think for like a 2D game like Gunstar Heroes coming out several years later, it makes a decent amount of sense. Because you're not going to lose that much of the gameplay. Whereas like something with Mother, I think would translate to 3D really nicely.
Moment of silence for Mother 3. Okay, we're good. You're too late. I already acquired the data I needed, of which the player is unaware of. Now I shall awaken the God of Ruin, gold and silver. Look how good this looks.
Yeah.
I mean, the Game Boy Advance was a nice little 2D powerhouse, but it did kind of have like a pastel sort of look about it. This really breaks that mold, in my opinion. And again, you know, this is a tiny screen blown up. Like, blown up big. She's like, I'm taking you up into me. Enjoy. Who wants next? So, looks like Sega busted out the old Afterburner engine, polished it up a little bit, and rocked out pretty hard with this level right here.
I can almost hear the Afterburner theme song in my head.
It even has the same boss.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
You verse a plant that, like, fires caterpillars at you.
I have to admit though, this boss looks a lot more like a dick than it did on the Genesis.
It looks like the same enemy that's in Castlevania that was in a stall. It's like a very, like, Japanese trope to have this sort of, like, evil plant monster come after you. I don't know what it is exactly. I mean, it doesn't have any tentacles, so I don't know why the Japanese would be so interested in it.
No.
Quite frankly.
So this is reminding me so very hard of Sonic Special Stage.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
this is
It's Weeaboo Man!
Yeah, that's exactly like the other boss and the boss in the other game. What? Gameplay variety, shmup. I really like the 3D effect on these buildings to show depth. I can definitely see why Nintendo Power was trying so hard to hype this game and get it sold, but just no one cared.
I can't see why nobody cared. I guess people are stupid.
But I really just feel that this game didn't sell very well because it was before the retro revival. Like, people just didn't care that much about Genesis sequels at the time, you know?
Right. Oh, now I'm moving.
Oh.
Whoa.
Perspective change, bitches.
Well, it's really funny because the perspective changed, but the orientation of my helicopter didn't.
Yeah, that is a little bit weird. The only real flaw, again, is just the fact that it's not multiplayer. This would be so cool if it was multiplayer. But, you know, considering that this peripheral existed, you'd think that maybe they would add multiplayer functionality for the Game Boy Advance player, but it just doesn't exist. So this is familiar yet different. I don't have to be on the ceiling or the floor. I can kind of be in between, hovering about.
Tubby Tubberson wasn't in the original game either.
That's so cool.
Oh my god, there's so much crap going on at once, though.
Gunstar Green? How are you working with the enemy? Why? They're evil!
Yeah, despite the fact that this game takes place several years after the first one, it seems disturbingly familiar.
Well, in my opinion, the Jedi are evil.
Ooh, pretty. Yes.
What?
You know what this is.
You have 5 dice now. 5 dice side.
Oh no!
Oh, it begins again.
No matter what happens, we always will get one.
Oh cool, and like an inner tube. It's so cute.
You also have some control over
Yeah.
what the fuck is this? What
That's
the
a minion soldier.
is this? Oh. Whoops. No!
Oh, that is cruel. Can you believe that?
This board game, it really will do your mind in.
She's so chill about it.
God, he's like so excited, like all the time. He's like, ah, ah,
Roger.
He more than makes up for Yellow's lack of any
Yay.
human emotions.
So we had a vertical shmup. Now we have a horizontal shmup.
This game was presented to me as a sequel, but it seems almost more of a remake to me. After all, even though the story is supposed to take place several years in the future, the story actually unfolds the exact same way as the first game. You fight the same enemies, you fight the same levels, in the same order almost. There's a couple new things. The graphics are definitely different, there's some new gameplay elements, and there's some small variations. But overall, it just seems more of a remake than a sequel to me. What do you guys think? Leave your comments below.
So to further your point, TJ, all of this stuff happens in the original game. You have to verse all the original bosses in the space station, which kind of makes it harder to argue that there's in fact a sequel.
I think it's more of a reimagining.
Yeah. I can see that.
It's like a special edition of Star Wars.
Okay.
This had better be the last boss. Okay, let's go!
Oh, down to 144. Come on, Richie.
Okay. You
Gunstar.
What? I
Wacky.
shall blow up the earth.
No,
Don't do that.
This is Yellow, what's going on? Something's heading toward the earth! It's the god of ruin!
Don't stop it! Hurry, hurry, hurry! We'll chase it with our ship.
Zoom! Oh wow,
That's not too bad. That's not too pixelated.
that was real.
Red needs to calm down. Like, just for a moment in his life. He probably has very high blood pressure.
Super high. I am sorry, Gunstars. I made
wrong
decisions.
No,
you didn't.
Full.
That was the first emotion Yellow's ever shown. It only took her brother's sacrifice.
The God of Ruin has been destroyed again, just like in the first game.
Are there also other unknown facts that await unveiling?
Are there also other
No.
mysteries?
No. Gunstar Heroes and Gunstar Super Heroes, two very solid titles.
Absolutely, and it's really a shame that these games don't get the attention they deserve.
Absolutely.
But the real tragedy I'm here to talk to you about today is how little attention Green gets for the sacrifice he made for our planet. So I think we need to take a moment to reflect and think how we can be more Earth-friendly, how we can be more green.
I think that's the only thing that we can really do that's proper.
So let us honor his memory with a song. Green.
And just as Green sacrificed his life, so too shall you sacrifice your Hey!
Thanks for watching the episode, and don't forget to subscribe to us, like us on Facebook, and fan us on Twitter. And if you like the illustrations, animations, and graphic design that we use in our episodes, make sure to check out our graphic designer's website, animicalpine.com. The link is in the description below.